Hello everyone and welcome to Real Talk with Odun. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Like I always say, we like saying hello to everyone everywhere. So we are not just saying hello to those in the US, we're saying hello to those in the in Nigeria as well. In the UK, in Australia, New Zealand, wherever you are. Hi, it's your girl Odun again. So I'm always excited to sit here and to talk with women from all walks of life. We've brought lots and lots of them. We are so excited to have two of our guests from before. They are like family of the show now. You know, they are those people that I said, Pastor Mrs., I need you on the set. And she's like, when? The last time I saw Pastor Tom, I was like, you need to come back. She said, whenever you're ready, I'm ready. And when I said, we need you back, she said, yeah, I'll be there. Even though I know she has other engagements, but she was like, I'm just going to come. And I am so grateful for that. Thank you, Pastor Tom. And our other returning guest is Pastor Tom, Pastor Mori Oshumakide Pimo. I'm used to calling her Pastor Mori Oshumakide, but she'll be like, I'm Pimo. So we are also excited to have Pimo join us again this afternoon. She's also a returning guest. She was here, I think the second episode. Yeah? So welcome, Pastor Mori Pimo. Oh, Jesus. I hope I will speak to Pimo.
It's okay. Thank
Pimo,
you.
thank you for joining us again today. So that's just a brief introduction. I'm still going to do the introduction because today, as you all know, we are doing questions. You know, you guys sent in a lot of questions and it's amazing because the bulk of the questions we got was centered around sex. Which means there's a lot of things going on in the other room.
Okay, the other room.
You know, it means there's a lot of issue going on in the other room that we will try to, at least, I had to actually unpick some of the ones I took because there was a lot of this, that. I'll have to run out of my marriage. She is asking for too much, is this, is that. But I was able to select some questions personally because I took like a bulk and like pick in each segment so that we can manage our time. We have a short time today. Both of my guests have to be here for 1 hour. You know, after 1 hour they are gone. So straight to the point. Like I said, Pastor Tom Faguba is the First Lady of RCCG Dominion Chapel, Houston, Texas. She's a well-decorated engineering and IT professional. She has a successful 25 years career in oil and gas. She looks it. You see all those engineers, they always have that staunch look. But Pastor Tom is so approachable, funny enough.
Oh
Even though when you see her, you're like, oh, I can't talk to her. But then when you start talking to her, she's so approachable. And we love you for that, man. Like I said, she's a naturally talented and creative designer. She runs Enclante, a contemporary interior design firm. She has the art to empower the next generation. She's very encouraging because with who she is, imagine my little self just walking up to her and saying Pastor Tom, and she's like, yeah, I'll come. That's because she's passionate about we the younger ones, you know, surpassing her, I would say. And she's a pastor. She inspires young women to fulfill their God-divine purpose at every stage of life. She's an avid believer in excellence, a practical and dynamic teacher of the word, and she has ministered at several women conferences within and outside the United States of America. She has been married to Pastor Bayo, a college sweetheart, for 25 years, and they are blessed with 3 amazing sons. Welcome once again, Pastor Tom. We are rolling the drum.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for always. You're very encouraging. I'm not saying that because we are on here. I'm saying that because I recently someone told me you need to tell people what they mean when you can see them. So thank you so much. It's encouraging that you can. She called me yesterday. She called me this morning. She said, and that means a lot to me. That means so much. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, Pimo. I'm getting it right. Pastor Mori Oshumakinde, fondly known as Pimo, is an inspiring and resourceful woman. She is motivated by the Spirit and the Word of God to effectively and strategically influence both men and women of every cadre to understand, acknowledge, and appreciate their God-given assignments. She's currently the serving president of Babes Redefined, our own BR. Okay, I don't know why some women don't know what BR is, because BR is like the first Christian group on Facebook. First all women group on Facebook. It's been, I can't even remember. And funny enough, when I think about this thing, I laugh. I was actually the first member on BR before my sister. My sister came and took over, became a zonal coordinator and all that. But me, I was just sitting in my small corner. It recently that I started talking anyway. But we are getting there. So Pimo is the founder of BR, like I said, before Finn, before Lifer, before all those other groups of BR on Facebook. BR has been in existence, yes. It's been a while. She's also the head pastor of the Baptizing Church TBC out of Zion, Lagos. She has been able to do this, through the ministry of the word, prayer, practical and ethical approaches and solutions to life's challenges, and has reached over 85,000 women. Like I said, BR is all over. There's practically no country you will get to that you won't see a babes. We call ourselves babes. Yes, that you won't see a babes.
Awesome.
So yeah. She's a certified customer service facilitator and coach, an entrepreneur and CEO of Epic Proactive Company and Jasmine Company. She's the convener of the Leading Women Conference, a conference aimed towards equipping women with the tools required to make them all that God has created them to be. She is also the lead consultant of Be Defined. She's married to Pastor Dele Oshumakide. She's the serving overseer of the Baptizing Church, and they are blessed with 3 amazing children, amazingly. Can you see? 3. She has 3. So, it's like Yoruba will say, they are 2, they are 4. Okay. All right. Welcome to the show, people. And thank you for having me. Every time I send you a message like, Pimo, this one when I said, Pimo, I want you to come on the show. So she was like, let me check my schedule. And she came back and said, it's fine. You know, it didn't even take time, which means a lot to me. See, I don't take this thing for granted, because at times, I know some people that I've actually walked up to that I've asked to come on the show, and they'll be like, oh. But I tell them, when my face is known, that is when you will want to come on my show. You know, like, no. But
we're getting there.
Yes, so from the onset, and it means a lot. It means a lot to me. I appreciate the both of you so much. Thank you. So
thank you.
They are saying welcome on the show. Welcome, Maz. Welcome, and they all say thanks for the giveaway. Love you. More money. Oh, Jesus. That's another thing. Okay. They are all saying welcome to the show. Yeah, Miosh, thank you, Mrs. Osho. God bless you. Like I said, we don't have time, so straight to it. I think we should just deal with the finances, the one I think is not that serious first. Take that out of the way before we get into the sex stuff, because I said it's I think going through the questions, a lot of marriages are having one issue or the other sexually, and I think we should just deal with the finances, the infidelity out of the way, and then we'll now go to the sex. So I'm going to start with you, Pastor. So the first one I want us to do is the finances. We know most of the time people are like, we are married, so we both need to have an account. So is it a must for couples to have joint accounts?
Well, I would say that, okay, let me use this approach. I don't want to answer yes or no whether it is a must for couples to have a joint account. But what I would say is that in an ideal Christian marriage, where both of these people are Christians and they love God and they are submitting to one another, they should have a joint account. Everything should be transparent and open and together. Your money should be my money should be your money, it should be our money. That, I believe, is the best approach, the desired approach. But the reality is that we have different types of marriages. We have people in different stages of their marriages. We have people in different stages of their maturity as Christians. And all these things are the things that, affect finances. So that is why I can't say it is a must. So there will be situations and circumstances where couples would have to, where couples cannot have joint accounts because of the peculiarities of their own marriage.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you so much. So, Pastor Pimo, do you agree with what Pastor Tom just said?
Okay, I agree to an extent, and if I'm just allowed to say one or two things with respect to that, like I love that she said it's desirable, it's not a must. We cannot put a blanket on it and say that people must have a joint account, and I think that it's okay. It's good for finance management. So, but I want to add that not with the exception of having your own account. Now, it's not for selfish means, but I feel like even though we have a joint account, or we have separate accounts, or we have a joint account and we still have separate accounts, there should still be a measure of independency because we trust each other. So I don't want to feel nuzzled just to be able to spend money. So there should be a measure of trust. I was still teaching on Proverbs 31 earlier today. The Bible says the heart of her husband safely trusts her. And some verses down, the Bible says she considered a field without his permission and she bought it. Now, it wasn't disrespect. It was because his heart already safely trusts in her. So he knows that if she takes a financial decision, she's able to do the right thing. And like, Pastor said also, people are at different levels with respect to their marriages. And unfortunately, what we see out there, there's a lot of selfishness. We can't lie. There's a lot of selfishness. So there's a lot of me agenda. So you have wives who have money. Their husbands don't know how much they earn, or they don't know how much exactly they earn. You have wives who have other savings and their husbands don't know. That's faulty. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about transparency with or without a joint account. And then freedom to be able to express yourselves together financially. But maturity, it takes maturity. Like Pastor has rightly said, it takes maturity to be able to do. Because money and sex are the two major issues in marriages.
Wow. I really like some buzzwords from what she said. Transparency, freedom, and a good degree of independence, trust. Those words, maturity also.
Yeah.
I think those are the words that we really need to consider. Yeah. Thank you.
It takes a level of trust. Yes, joint account is good, but it doesn't take away the fact that you can still have separate individual accounts because you trust each other to be always transparent with each other, even with your separate accounts. That's huge for me. Thank you so much. Now, going back to what you said, Pimo, you said something about a lot of selfishness when it comes to finances. This one is not actually a question per se. It's something that someone sent me. She said, I earn more than my husband, but he spends carelessly. He dishes money out without my consent, and most of the time we are out of funds before the month runs out. I am scared of bringing the issue up because they will say it's because I earn more than him, and I also don't want to bruise his ego. What do I do? So this goes back to what you said. I just need you to just, if you can say something about that, like give her an advice, because I can see her. She's actually on here now.
Okay, so the truth is that the husband has a lot of maturing to do. And I won't say, because it's not only men that don't know how to manage money. Some women who don't know how to manage money. So it's not a function of gender. It's a function of personality. It's a function of who you are. So I feel like the man, the problem is already there. And this is a formed man. So the wife, I would advise, would have to apply wisdom. Now, this is what comes to my mind and to my heart as I'm thinking and talking. There's a reason why. Sorry, I think in line with scriptures a lot, so please permit me. There's a reason why Abraham did not tell Sarah that he was going to sacrifice Isaac. There's a reason why. Because Sarah didn't have the bandwidth to manage it. So there are some times when you apply wisdom and you take certain steps, it's not with the aim of hiding something from the person, but it's with the aim of providing a covering that would help the family in the future. So conversations have to happen with this husband. he needs to come to that point of understanding that we need to manage our finances. Whether I earn more or not is not the issue here. The issue here is how do we manage what comes in? Because we have to be responsible managers of the resources that comes into our hands. We can't just, and if she's finding it difficult to have that conversation with him, then there's a bigger problem than the issue of money.
Yeah.
There's a bigger problem, which probably they would need to see a counselor, a marriage counselor, to be able to have that, or someone that he respects. I know when it comes to the issue of money, men already have ego, but that is his problem that he needs to deal with, and dragging her into it and putting her in a state where she's now afraid to have conversation with her husband because she earns more than him, then there's a major problem somewhere. And as long as she also hasn't had incidences where she has flaunted that, we are women, so let's also look at that. Has she also been guiltless in that she's not always put it to his face that I earn more than you, I'm the sole provider of this family, and this? If that hasn't happened, then I want to believe that she can have a meaningful, mature conversation with her husband. And if he's that type that wouldn't listen to that or will misinterpret it, prayerfully have that conversation. If he misinterprets it, then possibly seek counsel. It's not something that we can conclude on a call like this. She would need to probably seek counsel from a marriage counselor.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. So, Pastor Tony, you want to chip anything to that?
No, I think she said it all. I agree perfectly with her.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. So this other one is it's what I see oftentimes when I'm scrolling through social media. My husband wants me to quit my job and take care of the home front. I have always been a career lady and can't see myself not working. What do I do? I'm directing that to you, Pastor Tony.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a career woman.
Yes. I've always been a career woman, so I think I can answer that question. So the thing about this kind of questions is that sometimes you don't understand the whole picture. So you may not be able to answer, specifically to address that situation, but I will try. Because there are a couple of things that could be further questions that I could ask before answering this kind of question. Okay, how much is your husband earning? How much are you earning on that job that you are doing? How much will childcare cost? Because it's like this is connected to, husband wants me to take care of the children. Is it a temporary proposition or is it a permanent one that, I don't want you to work? So those are the factors to consider. If, for example, the woman earns way less at her job than would cost to employ people to help with the children, she may want to consider, stopping that job for now because it's more economical for the family, and then she gets to spend time with her children, and it's a temporary thing, and she can also find other things that she could do. There are so many opportunities now of making money without leaving the house.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here in the US. So.
Yes, here in the US.
Because it's like it's a not.
But not only in the US.
The major problem in the US with staying home and running a business is electricity.
Oh, you mean in Nigeria?
In Nigeria, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
In Nigeria.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, there could be other options. I don't want us to rule that out completely, as if there is nobody who is successfully able to run a business from home in Nigeria. Exactly. So those are things that could be considered. And then if for example the other extreme, maybe where she even makes much more than the husband, and the husband is just being unrealistic by asking her not to work, and it makes so much sense for her to go out there working while they employ help for the children. In that case, number one, of course, we would always pray, talk to God. Somebody was sharing that sometimes men don't hear with their ears, their physical ears. They hear with their mind, with their hearts. They hear with their, and God is the one that is able to turn the heart of everyone wheresoever He wills. So the heart of kings is in the hands of God, and He turns it wheresoever He wills. And I just want to say that prayer is everything. Like, even if I answer any question here and I don't say pray, just remember that you should still pray. So you should definitely pray, about it. but talk to him. And like Pimo said, if your husband is the kind of person that you cannot even have a conversation with, you cannot express yourself, that even the first situation that I expressed, where maybe her job earns less than it could still be justified that she should work, because if she's going to feel much better, feel fulfilled, because it's not all about money. If she's going to feel fulfilled, if in the future that job is going to, give back to greater things in her life, it may be a sacrifice worth making for the family, where they will still employ help and she will go out to work. So that's why it's so important to be able to have a conversation with your husband. And if she's doing that and that is not working, or she's not able to do that, again, like Pimo said, we need to get counsel. And I want to say, I know that some people, I understand that some couples, when they get married, they say that we're never going to have any third party in this marriage. It's always going to be, just us. Me, I don't know about that. Because even the Bible says that in the multitude of
elders.
Counsel, something about the multitude of counsel and iron sharpening iron. I believe that when you are getting married to, as a lady, if you are getting married to a man, part of the things that you should consider before you marry that man is, if we need to escalate any issue in this marriage, if I need to report this man, because that man, there's nobody that is perfect. You are not getting married to Jesus Christ. You are getting married to a human being. So there will be some times that he will do some things that you don't like, and you will also do some things that he doesn't like. So answer that question for yourself first. Who can my husband report me to? Who can I report my husband to? Who can both of us go to and report ourselves to? Who can help us? Who can advise us? I think those are the kind of things that even before you get married, you should discuss and you should sort out. And so, I mean, in that situation, if they're not able to resolve it among themselves, and if somebody is being unreasonable, unduly, then they should escalate it and take it to a mentor, a counselor that can talk to them. All right.
Thank you so much, Ma. When you were saying something, my dad always say, don't date someone. See, I'm going to say this in Yoruba. Someone that you can threaten him with, that I will report you to this person, I will make him sit up. So to a certain extent, I understand what you're saying. So people, do you want to add anything to what Pastor Tom just said?
No, Pastor Tom said it. She cut it all. Maybe just to re-emphasize the fact that the issue of parenting children should be discussed even before marriage. And I think that a lot of people just go into marriage, go into parenthood without really having these conversations. Parenting is not beans. And it's not for the woman alone. The woman is not the one that God raised to take care of children. It's both. So we both have to have these conversations. So these are conversations couples should have before they get married. And the issue of career, did the man know that you're a career person? Did you have these conversations before marriage? So that's just what I want to emphasize on. If you're a single person on the call, have these kind of conversations. I love career. I would really love to pursue my career. How do we manage the issue of children? Is it okay? At what point do we get help? Are you okay with help? Are you let's have those conversations and come to an agreement and possibly seek counsel then. It's not now that the children have come. We're now running helter skelter. Because these children are our responsibility.
So we should be proactive rather than be reactive.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Please. That's so important because you see so many problems in marriage that if people had talked about these things or considered these things before they get married, then it would have been avoided or much better managed.
So instead of us doing just I love you, let's talk about the serious talk. Because some of the time we are carried away with the emotions, with the sweet talk and all that. And so we leave the serious talk aside and we'll talk about it after marriage, which most of the time doesn't end well. Yes, I know. Okay. Someone online said, presently, joint account should be for common expenses, like rent, school fees, but each partner should still have individual account for personal needs. Okay, thank you. In this economy, you need a job, except if it is affecting the smooth running of the home. We really don't have the time to be, because most of the time when we are on the show, they have things that they put in for us to address. Yes, but because we have a short time today, we are just going to move it on. So I hope what they've said so far helps some of these issues or some of these questions, because this one of quitting my job, I know it's a lot, it's prevalent. In fact, there's one I saw during the week where the husband said she should quit her job on the premise that she is going to open up a store and whatever, and then she said it's been 6 months since she quit that job. She's still home, and the pathetic part of her own story is the husband wasn't even working. She was the only one working and earning all the money, and then she now have to quit that job 6 months after they were eating the salary that she was able to save while she was working. And she has, I think she said she has like 300,000 left, and they need to pay the rent. So the husband is saying they should move to the village, and so they can start. See, this story of career is a whole lot of things. But let's move on. We don't have the time. They just flashed me the time again. Okay, this one we are going to move to infidelity, which I know is a lot also, and I'm going to address this to Pastor Pimo. I feel like my husband is cheating, but I don't have proof and don't know how to go about bringing it up. What? this instinct thing that women are always doing. They will say my instinct is telling me that it's cheating.
Is it instinct or the spirit of suspicion?
Why did you put me on this one? Why did you throw that question to Pastor? I love what Pastor Tone just said. You know, that is it instinct or suspicion? Or we don't work based on suspicion. You know, I want to believe this is a Christian asking this. You work based on discernment. And if you don't have proof, you really have to subject that feeling to realistic appraisal. We have to look at it. You have, because sometimes we get overly emotional. Haven't counseled people, for some years. When you hear some side, if the lady comes to you and tells you the side of her story, you would have crucified the guy before even hearing the guy. When you now hear the guy, you're like, Haba, like seriously, Oroyi, it's not like this. Why did you put it like this? Because you now get a balanced view. So I've learned in life that when someone comes, I always want to hear the second part, so that I don't give, a judgment on a matter that is not, balanced.
Yes.
So what I want to say to that woman is, you cannot make a permanent decision on something that is just a feeling. You have to be sure about this. And like we've said before, why are you suspecting that your husband is cheating? Is there a reason for you to suspect? Has he cheated on you before? Were you having issues of cheating before you got married and you were hoping and praying that a miracle will happen? So those are the conversations that you should have with yourself first and be honest. Or this is just you being overly reactive, or this is just, so when you say you don't have proof, we need to know. So honestly, it's not something that we can quickly answer now. But what I can just say to her is, she needs to be sure. And if her feeling is so strong, then she should have the conversation with her husband. I don't understand this kind of marriage relationship people have, and they cannot have conversations with their husbands. I don't know. As in, why? He's not the Lord and Master of your house. So that's why these things are faulty from the beginning. If you say this is your friend and this is someone that you are in partnership with for a destiny that you are both looking towards to, then you should be able to have conversations like that with that person. I won't advise you to start talking to people, reporting him here when you don't have proof, because by the time you've done all of that and you now want to talk to him, you've already damaged things.
Exactly.
Have honest conversation with him and let him know this is how you feel. And if it is a case of suspicion, just let him know. I don't know. I really don't know how else to answer that.
Because I suspect you are cheating on me. How could you even have that conversation?
Honestly, he's going to feel like, why would that's why I said there should be a reason why you are suspecting. There should be a reason. Has he done it before? Do you have valid reason to suspect him? And it's sad, although, that a lot of women are in marriages where there's lack of trust. They're living with one eye open, one eye closed. And sometimes also it's based on social media. So it's really not validated. Their suspicion is not validated. It's just maybe one lady said hello to him on
Oh, they just
social
saw him
media.
talking on the phone in a lower
Yes.
voice. Like
Do you
he's whispering on
understand?
his phone and they're
Yes.
like, yeah. Yeah.
So, or maybe a lady commented on his post and said, "Oh, hello, friend," or
Yeah.
something. They are already
Hello,
doing
dear.
monitoring spirits
Hello,
on the
dear.
girl.
Hello, yeah. Why
And
is she using
checking it,
yeah?
you know?
You just say heart emoji.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Someone
The guy
said
is in
it's
trouble.
insecurity. Someone just said he's being insecure. I don't know. I don't know. Like people said, it's mind blowing when you are in a marriage and you are not secure. It's a lot. So Pastor Tom, you want to add anything?
Yeah, I mean, she said it all really. I just wanted to add that, you know, that aspect where she said that you cannot approach that person based on suspicion, but that there could be reasons. There could be some reasons why the woman is insecure. If the man has cheated on her before, maybe before they were married, or even after they were married, then you can't really blame her for being suspicious. And in that kind of situation, the husband should be ready for that. If he has cheated on her before, you understand? He should be ready for her. He should understand that why she would be suspicious, and he should be more open to her than he has ever been before. But also in the case of the woman, especially if, okay, he has cheated on you before, you've gone over it, you've gone through counseling, you've seen a change of heart, change of mind and everything, you to calm down, you understand. Don't be suspecting every single move of his, because you're just torturing yourself. And if you keep on telling him and harassing him, nobody's going to be happy, nobody's going to have peace. Because like we said earlier on, there are some situations that there is absolutely nothing. But it may look as if there's something, but there's nothing. So don't kill yourself. And of course, the ministry of the Holy Spirit is there for us. Pray that the Holy Spirit will reveal to you. Pray. Yeah, the Holy Spirit would always, as long as you invite any situation in your life, you invite the Holy Spirit, He would always come in. And He will let you know what you need to do. He will let you know. He will just expose the man if the man is actually truly cheating. Yes. That proof that you don't have, you will get it. So,
okay. Thank you both so much. Basically, I think a lot of women can be paranoid when it comes to my husband.
Yeah.
Don't say hi to I'm not talking to that person. Why are you talking to the person? I'm not smiling with that person. Why are you smiling with the person? We put a lot of stress on ourselves just because we want to keep a man. And this is me saying this: if you are married to a philandering man, your problem is different. It's true. Your problem is different because I'm a Nigerian. I know what we do in Nigeria. How we say even if it's cheating. I actually saw someone very popular in Nigeria saying during the week that I can never leave my husband even if I know he's cheating. Fine. We want to stay there and patch it up and so we go the extra mile to put ourselves under this pressure of who is he talking to? Why is he looking at that girl like that? Why is he smiling at that girl? And even though when there is nothing, but because it's this culture that they fed for a very long time, that you cannot see a faithful man, so women tend to overreact when it comes to things that should not be reacting about. I always say something. One of the things my ex complained about is the fact that when I see him talking to women, I'm not like, who is that? And I'm like, I will just kill myself. I'm not para before what now? Who is that? Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Who is that person?
So he's complaining that you're not
that's
complaining.
part of his that I'm not complaining. That I didn't complain when I see talking to me. Anyway, let's just move on. So this one is very funny to me when I saw it. Pastor Tongu, I'm directing that to you. She said, myself and my husband don't gist like that. I have this friend at work, a guy, that I gist with and I feel attached to him somehow. In fact, if we don't talk in a day, I miss him and our conversation. Am I cheating?
Yes, ma'am. Make it easy. That's what they call emotional cheating. You see, if you had not said that, you said that you gist with him a lot, but you did not go on to say that
you miss him when
I am attached to him and I miss him when we don't talk for one day. Man, that is very dangerous. It means, you've already said this. You're already attached to him, and that is emotionally. So you're already having an emotional affair
Relationship.
with this guy. Well, maybe you haven't yet started saying I love you, and those kind of things, you know, but you already have those feelings for him, and maybe it's even mutual, you know, and so it may be an emotional affair already going on out there, and it's not advisable, honestly. I mean, when you see that you're already getting that close to somebody other than your spouse, and you don't even gist that much with your spouse, you don't enjoy it. You know, there's another person that is now, because at the end of the day, what you now find out is that if you are putting in any effort into having to spend more time with your husband before, to talk more, you will just withdraw that effort because now you found it somewhere else. So that's not healthy.
So you're cheating.
Yes,
basically,
you are.
Emotional cheating.
Yes.
Thank you, Pastor Tom. So people, what do you have to add to that?
Yeah, that's it. Odun, she's the person is cheating. There's no way. There's no two way to say it. You are cheating.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that there's just a lot of carnality. Forgive me if this is being overly spiritual. There's just a lot of carnality out there. A lot of carnality, a lot of flesh. You know, you just we allow the feelings, we allow our flesh to dictate to us.
We don't even fight the flesh anymore.
At all. No, we don't even. We just, and then we come under the pseudo feeling of I can't help myself. Is how I feel. Come on, you can help yourself. Your feeling can be controlled. Your feeling can be managed.
Yeah.
And like Pastor Tom said, there's something called the spirit-controlled woman. You bring yourself under the control of the spirit. You already know you are married, no matter what it is. That man might have 70% of what your husband doesn't have, but you are married. It's a covenant you made with your husband. You saw your husband when you said, I do. You were not forced to. They didn't put a gun to your head. So you chose this man. You stay with the one you chose. You love the one you chose. And love is not a feeling. Love is a decision. You decided to love this person. It's an action word. So you tell yourself that I'm going to love that. When Paul was saying that women submit to your own husband, I love that he added own husband, because he knows we have the tendency to be submitted to other people aside from our own husband.
To have multiple husbands.
I'm telling you. So he said, face your own husband. And oftentimes we think the grass is greener on the other side. It's a lie. Face your work, face your husband. And most times, because he's a colleague you are seeing every day, you feel like there's an attachment. It's a feeling. It's pseudo. That is not your husband. You have to consciously tell yourself, I have a husband at home. It might not be as fine as this. Like I always tell people, when you marry someone, settle it in your heart. There'll be people finer. There'll be people more eloquent. There'll be people more intelligent. So if you are feeling like richer, more attractive, with soft spoken words that will sweep you off your feet,
more romantic,
because love is a decision. I'm telling you, ma, you stay with your decision. That's maturity.
Thank you. So someone said from gist partner to emotional partner, and there they start. Okay. So some men are always busy. Some men are always busy with their phone. That gisting with them is very difficult.
But don't gist with another. Then take it as your own marriage stuff that you have to resolve.
The phone from your husband. I say I want to talk to you. At least it's your husband. Take the phone. I'm doing the guy.
By the time you tell your husband, some people do that. That I'm already having a feeling for someone. I think the husband will sit up. Some men would, or some will take it the other way. But I think by the time you can have honest conversation and say we need to critically look at our marriage. We are not talking, we are not conversing, we are not communicating. Because it's easy to go into that family life. So it's just a routine. It becomes a routine. You wake up, everybody goes to work, children come back, hello, hi, shoti John, showa, okay, and it just goes on like a routine. It's very easy.
Boring,
but
you must
boring.
It
becomes boring.
That is it, ma'am. That is the word. You have to be deliberate.
You have to be
deliberate. Yeah.
All right, thank you. So I don't have the time, because most of the time the comments they put here cracks me up. Someone said they are looking for men with 6 packs. 6 packs.
Some people, they get attracted to a man that is more spiritual.
So
So
yeah. So they
so
say whatever
some people it
decision.
is the six pack, the physical. Some people it is
It's
the
the
spiritual.
spiritual.
Just face your own husband.
The one you pick is your decision. Stay with your decision.
Yeah.
Stay with your decision. All right. Thank you both so much. So now let's go to the in-laws. We have like 20 minutes. Ah, Jesus, maybe we should actually skip the in-laws because I think this sex thing will take. Yes, I'm sorry, but I think we need to skip the in-laws.
Okay.
Maybe we'll do that some other time. So let's just go to the sex part because it said the first one is this one is very common. Okay, should your spouse be asking for your nude pictures when you are out of town or when he is out of town?
Well, I would say he has a right to have your nude picture or anything, and there's no problem with that. But the only thing is that a nude picture is permanent. It's on a mistake can happen. You understand, and or something may happen in the future that.
The phone got lost or something.
Yeah, and then your nude picture is right there.
Everywhere.
So somebody was telling me, I was actually discussing this with a friend, you know. Actually, you sent this question, and I was asking my friend, what did she think about it? So she said, if anybody is going to send a nude picture, don't put your head there. That there's no problem in sending him nude picture. Let him, at least we know the parts that he really needs. But I was now saying, but he connects that part. Now, every other woman has that part too. But he connects that part to the face. He said, go and let him go and Photoshop your face with the... Let him go and Photoshop your face with the rest of the body. But what I want to say is that I don't see anything wrong in, maybe he's away, but you do real-time stuff. You can have what you call virtual sex.
Okay, because that's the one of the questions.
Yeah. But you know, like a still picture, you send it. But then there could be situations for that. Maybe that person does not have the opportunity to have this real-time virtual thing with you where you can actually go naked on the whatever he's seeing you naked, you are doing the stuff virtually.
We're talking about husband and wife.
Husband and wife.
So
husband and wife. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with having sex with your husband over the phone. There is nothing wrong with having sex with your husband over Zoom or over whatever, FaceTime. Yes, finally. Because some people that have all these long distance relationships where they are living far away and the husband would request for this kind of things and the woman will say he's too carnal. How can I be showing you my body over the phone? How can I be? There's nothing wrong with it. If he was touching your body physically, why can't he touch it virtually? You understand? So, but the one of the still picture that you send is just, you know, I don't know. I think it's okay, but just the safety of it. And let me tell you one story that I read about, and it was real. It actually happened. It was actually a pastor's wife whose husband had traveled, and she took a video of herself dancing naked. You know, maybe that's what she does for her husband normally, whatever. She was dancing naked to the husband. And then she now mistakenly sent that message on WhatsApp to their church, one of their groups, one of their church WhatsApp group. They said this woman almost committed suicide. It was terrible. As in, so, you know, that kind of thing. That's why, like, sending a video or a picture, it could just be risky. But the real-time thing is a preferred thing for me. But like I said, maybe the person is in military and they don't get to talk to you regularly. Maybe they just want to have something they are looking at. Well, I don't know. But
all right. Thank you. So a lot of people online are even saying nude picture. No. Whether married or not, they all say.
You know.
They even said fuel for revenge porn. Extremely
risky. You see, very, very risky. Like in the future, if the man gets crazy now, or
yes,
or they get divorced or something, and he now wants to use it against her.
Yeah.
So, but you can do it without your head.
Alright, now we go to people. People, what do you think?
God.
No comment. It's above my pay grade.
It's above my pay grade.
Oh my goodness. I can understand where Pastor Tom is coming from in this part, where most of the women that stays alone, their husband is in the military. or they
Right.
actually work out of state. Couples here work out of state. Someone can be working in California and you are here in Texas with
Yeah.
your children. So there are some peculiarities. Even though me, I would do it. Actually, I don't like it. I don't, because I don't understand what it does to you. Anyway,
You won't do what?
Send nude pictures.
Oh, okay, the nude picture one. Okay.
Send nude picture. Like,
So the
what
new
does it do
pictures
to you?
is a no-no.
No,
It's a
yeah.
no-no
it's the
for me.
virtual sex one I thought you were
Yes.
talking
And
about.
anything electronic for me, because
Yeah.
uh,
It's too
electronic
risky.
world
It's too risky. Yeah.
It's too risky.
is amazing. Some things people will fish out. God help you want to become president tomorrow. They will go and fish it out. And you'll be surprised. Like they say,
Yeah.
electronically, it doesn't forget anything that
Yeah.
goes out there that you don't have control
That it is
over.
stored.
Yeah.
It goes in the cloud.
You, I'm telling you, you cannot manage it. So it's better safe than, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And whether not to at all. What would the new picture
Yeah.
do to the person now? Yes, I'm always wondering.
But me, I'm for the virtual
The
because
virtual-
too many couples where their marriages have completely scattered, or the guy just goes and starts doing porn or doing something else, where because he asks his wife if they can have virtual, because basically what is happening is that they are looking at each other, they are talking, whatever he's feeling, whatever he's feeling, but it is towards his wife. And at the end of it, that is the end of it. That's bye-bye.
But then what does it satisfy? That's my confusion.
You are
What
not a man. I
satisfaction?
think it may satisfy a
A
man
man,
more
I mean.
than the woman.
Okay, because most
But-
of the times they are moved by what they see. Eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so is the phone sex that as a Christian woman should you be doing? You just said you subscribe to virtual sex as
With
with
the
your
married
husband in the
couples.
in the boundaries of marriage.
Yes.
Okay.
I subscribe to it with
Okay,
married
so
couples.
Pimbo, what about you? Phone
Yeah,
sex.
no comment.
She does, she's too spiritual. She doesn't subscribe to it.
People, the people that I know is very practical.
But she doesn't
She's
subscribe
very
to that one.
practical.
No, honestly, my approach might be a bit,
Different.
one-sided. Because, I'm just for, because another question I would like to ask is, okay, after we go ahead and do that, what's the guarantee that I've not stirred up something in you that when I'm not available, you're going to
You
turn
have to
on?
quench.
Do you understand? Because I've given you something, I've aroused your test and I'm not there. I don't know how it's done. I've never done it. So I don't know how it's done. And I tell you, my husband travels a great deal. Sometimes a month, sometimes 2 months. Honestly. So, but I feel like, sex needs to
People,
be
sorry
met.
to cut
And-
it. Someone said people is too spiritual today. What I think?
What happened? Maybe she just finished a prayer and fasting session.
It's above my pay grade.
Oh, okay. I mean, but
I know the issues you would have encountered. Yeah, she might not actually understand what we are talking
yeah,
about.
I know
Because
people who have talked
yes.
this, who have talked to me about this thing.
Yes.
See, it's a different thing if the man asks for it, give it to him. But to now start thinking of, okay, how is it going to finish? You can discuss it now. That okay, are you sure this is not going to set you up for further strain or stress or whatever? So those are things that can be discussed. But to just say no, that's not spiritual, I cannot do that with you, that's a problem, is what I'm saying. If it's your husband, at least discuss it, give it a try, and it may work.
Yeah.
At least I know somebody who's and they're even elderly. Like yes, they are, I think now in their 60s.
Oh wow.
And she was telling me that she has phone sex with her husband over the phone because they live apart. He lives in another country, she lives here.
Oh, wow.
So
So for me, I'll actually be torn because it's both ways. Like Pimo said, I'm always thinking that to what end? As in, to what end? We'll just be aroused in bed and there's nothing to finish it. Yeah. But I don't know. I guess we'll just leave it the way it is for this one. Anyway, so is it a sin for my wife to initiate sex, or is it the job of the man? I'm asking you that, Pimo. Okay, this one is funny because when this question came from, there was a time that someone sent me. It was actually a lengthy email that I'm frustrated here. my wife has never initiated sex and I'm feeling as if something is wrong. This is actually a question for the guy. So, as a Christian woman, should you initiate sex, or is it just the job of Adam?
Yes, absolutely yes. Because there's no place that says that only the man should initiate it. If you desire your husband, you let him know you desire him. Yes, you let him know you desire him. You can have your ways, you know, of. I know sometimes women are a bit shy. Forget all these things we see on social media, you know, especially Christian women. You know, and again, because of the mindset we've had about sex, unfortunately, with Hollywood and Bollywood and all of that. So they've kind of messed up with our minds to think sex has to be in certain ways and all of that. But I think when you get married, both of you sit down, have that conversation. I think there's hardly any man that a woman would go to and say initiate sex that will say no, except the man is extremely tired or something else is happening somewhere. Honestly, so it's a capital yes. There's no rule against it, and there's nothing that says that the woman there's a level. Man should ask more, woman should not ask more. The woman can be the one asking as much as you want it. You ask honestly, and for me, I don't think that should be an issue. And I think a lot of men
it is an issue because
we should address it with women.
Yes, when we did the last show we did was actually on sex, and we tried to we attempted this the whole of the whole letter, the mail that the person sent, and a lot of women came out with this. I came back from work, the finances is bad. I'm thinking about what my children will eat. There's no food, and then you want me to be initiating sex. How can I be thinking of how to put food on the table? And thinking about. So a lot of comments were coming up. It was a very interesting episode when we had that one. A lot of women were like, I'm tired, and I came back, and if you want it, ask for it. Why should I? So it's obviously something that we need to talk to women about, because I don't know where they think it's only the job. It's part of the job description of the man. Because Pastor Tom, what do you think?
Oh, I agree.
Okay, before you someone said, Pastor Tom, to do what now? After you see my new that erection constant gidigba, what next?
Go and practice it with your husband, and then you will know how it will end.
Unless for this one they said unless the man is tired or his instrument is not working well. Okay. So what do you think about women, Christian women? Because I need to specify that, because the question was as a Christian woman, I don't think I should be initiating sex.
You can initiate sex as a Christian woman, and you should initiate sex as a Christian woman.
Yeah.
When you feel like having sex, initiate sex with your husband. I mean, he may even like
possible.
Exactly, as often as possible. He may even like. I mean, he will even not. He will like it because it shows that you also desire him.
Although I think that a lot of training or conversations needs to happen around that issue of sex, especially with married women, Christian married women, because a lot of times we have the warped idea of it, and that thing you said about the excuses they give. We also have to understand that women, when it comes to sex, our first sexual organ is our brain, our mind. So that woman is thinking, Kosovo, there's no food, there's no money, and you're saying I should initiate. So her mind is working. If her mind is not at peace, it will be difficult to initiate sex, honestly. But then she also needs to bring herself to that point where she needs to talk to her mind and possibly have a routine. So ask it. If your husband doesn't ask for sex in 1 month, you won't ask.
Okay, people, let me ask you something, because when you were talking, women, there was a question we tried to deal with then, like the sex for revenge. Like, you didn't give me this, so I'm withholding sex. Should that be happening? Should that be like a yardstick in a marriage?
No.
Like, we know women, we tend to use it most of the time. Like, okay, I'll catch you in the other room now.
It is so wrong, because it is like saying you're a prostitute. It's like saying it is a commodity kind of thing, because that is not what sex between a man and a woman is. If you are not having sex with him because you are so upset, you understand, with what he had done for you, and so your body is not responding, you understand. One will say, but not that you are purposely saying, because he did this and he did that, I'm not going to have sex with him. And even in the first case where I said that maybe because you are kind of upset with him and everything. That's why
Yeah, withholding.
you are withholding. You don't want to have sex. You still have to think about that, because
I would say we should not force ourselves into it, even if, like, I'm angry. I'm not talking to you, but then when we got on the bed, they are bringing your hand. I mean,
see, this is what I would say. There will be times, it depends on the level of the anger and the level of the offense. I think that there are some offenses that it's just so grievous that you can't just, you understand. But if it is not any serious grievous offense and everything, at the end of the day, by the time he's touching you and everything, you may, I'm not saying that you should sweep that offense under the carpet. You still talk about it, you understand. But it does not stop you from having sex. There are some offenses that shouldn't. Yeah, because I want to hear what people will say.
Okay.
But what I want to say is that if every single offense, if after every single offense you don't have sex, then your sex life will be so terrible.
Yeah.
Because I mean, for most couples, you always, every now and then you have this thing upsetting you and that one upsetting you. So at the beginning of the thing, you may not feel good, but at the end of the day, you may reach and enjoy it. You understand what I'm saying?
You will get to Jerusalem.
You will get there. You will be happier than him at the end of the day. So what is the point? And then tomorrow you will go and talk about that offense. That doesn't mean that it's over. Exactly.
Time out. Our fight continues.
Our fight continues after. Yes, I appreciate. Did you not eat because you were fighting?
Okay. Let me, people.
You can enjoy yourselves and then continue the fight later.
I think Pastor Tom actually said it honestly. Offense shouldn't stand in the way of sex. And I think when we see that sex is not just an obligation, it's you making love. It's you sharing intimate moments together. I know that because we're emotional beings as women, and because we need all our body and mind to be in it when we want to have it. So there's that talking to yourself and then understand your spouse. Some men, yes, you are offended, but they still want it because they are more prone to what they see. But then we can have that conversation after. You understand? But that sex for revenge is the one that is a no-no. You don't now say, because you did that, I'm going to show you.
I'm not going to allow you to touch me. It is a no.
That is coming from a wrong spirit. It's coming from. Don't even encourage that. That is you giving room and place to the devil. Don't even encourage that. And when there's an offense, and tell you guys, like Pastor Tom said, and you want to have sex, it's a good way to deal with that offense. It's a good way to deal with that offense. I tell you.
At least by the time you now talk about the offense, you people must have calmed down. You understand?
Yes,
it's not like you are sweeping it under. Exactly. Everybody will be happier. So that by the time you are now discussing it.
That one said, if we are not cool, no sex, so it will not flow. They have to apologize.
Somebody has agreed. But that's why we're having this talk. We want you to have a rethink of your mind if you want, because marriage is work. And it is not always the ideal situation, all these things you read in romantic novels and everything. You have to put in the effort to make your marriage work. And the effort means little compromises here and there. It's a give and a take. The fact that I'm having sex with him when I've been offended does not mean that I feel like having sex. But because I know that this is good for our marriage.
It's an opening for you to resolve.
Yes, it's an opening for us to resolve it. It's also blocking other things so that he will not be unsatisfied and other stuff.
Guys,
and then
said thank you.
I'm still going to talk to the guys. And then at the end of the day, because I know that why some people are against it is because they say that every time we will have there will be an offense, we will have sex, and that will be the end of it. That it's not. So that's why some people don't do it. But what I'm adding is that it does not mean that you are not going to address that offense. You know, I mean, there are some that are minor that you won't really need to go back to. But there are some that you should still go back and address it. So we're not saying that don't address the offenses. And for the men that are getting excited, let me tell you, the kind of sex that your wife will have with you when she's offended is different from the kind of level. It's not the same level. So don't be too happy and be offending her and be saying you will still have sex. Because if you want to enjoy yourself thoroughly, then be nice to her, be kind to her, apologize. If you have offended, apologize. Then you will have another level, because there are different levels.
And sex begins before the bedroom.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sex
yeah.
is not just about what happens in the bedroom.
Exactly.
So how have you been treating her? How have you been talking to her? How have you been managing her? How have you been caressing her with your words? And the way have you been helpful in the house? Have you been loving her with your words and your actions? Before you now come and say, get on the bed, turn this way, turn that way. She's not a robot now.
They are sending messages.
If you do that, then she will give you the robotic type of sex. It will be as if you are having sex with a robot. You know, just huge kind of. But if you want the real deal, you be nice and do everything that she has said you should do.
They are saying, no, I don't agree. Sex for a woman works with the mind. The guy said, I have started using it to punish also. They have turned their back on you while on the bed. Anyway, we have to move on. So, Pastor Tom, I know you need to go because it's like 4 already.
Yeah.
But I just want us to address this. My husband wants sex every day, at least twice. I can't cope anymore. I want to leave him to take care of my kids. Advice, please.
Pimo has the answer to that.
Pimo, she said you have the answer to that one.
I can sense in my spirit that she has the answer.
Oh my goodness! Wow! I don't envy that lady at all.
Twice every day.
But the truth is that we cannot deny the fact that some men and some women have very high, very high, you know. And if I'm to say this again, it's one of the things that you should also have had the conversations about even before marriage. Someone is saying, how will I know? You would know if you are always, you would know these things. But even if you don't know before marriage, after marriage, then you might probably need to seek and just talk medically. I'm not saying it's too much to ask for. And some guys are actually on pills. So these are conversations we need to ask. Are you on Viagra or whatever it is that you want it twice every day?
Every day.
No, I mean, only share me, as in I don't have any work again in my life. Just to be servicing you twice every day.
Every day.
So I think that, if that libido matches, fine, if it's no big deal. But having sex twice every day and the man is making it an issue, and I think they need to have the conversation with the counselor. I don't think that is health ideal. It's not ideal. It's not that it doesn't happen, but it's not ideal. Because Haba, except you don't have anything else you are doing in life.
Yeah. So that's the answer. I think they should see a counselor, they should see a professional who can address that so that they can see how they can manage both of them. Maybe they will find a way of bringing him a little bit lower and then bringing her own a little bit up too, so that they can meet somewhere in the middle. Yeah, but there are some women that are also like that, because a friend of mine once told me that there was somebody, a friend of hers, that told her that she must have sex every day. I thought she was joking, but she said the lady actually said that.
Wow.
She said that she had to have sex, that she had to have sex every day. The person is not a Nigerian. You
even see some Nigerians that do anyway.
So some women have it, some men have it, but if that is the situation, the gap is too wide between you and your husband, then both of you should go for help and seek help. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Sharon. They said Pastor Tom is very funny. Anyway, they are still going back and forth about this sex after quarrel. They
should go and have the sex.
Saying, for some of us, it's not sex, so it's more emotional. It's love making, and one is addressed. It will be a makeup love making, and it will be sweeter. And the guy said,
there will be times for you as a woman, but for your husband, it is not always love making. For your husband, many times it is sex, and you have to satisfy each other's. It's like you saying that your husband will say that I'm not into all this affection, all this card. I don't like card. It doesn't mean anything to me. And you like card, and you will now, and he will now not buy cards for you, or he will not say I love you. He will not say romantic stuff to you, because to him, it doesn't matter. It doesn't like, So this is what we're talking about, that give and take. And that's why we're having these discussions, that you have to put in the effort to build your marriage. I mean, I'm not saying always.
Yeah.
You understand that it depends.
On the
But
gravity
when
of
you
the
now
offense,
have
actually.
the gravity of the
Yeah.
offense, I'm not saying that you just be a dumb person and you are so mad and then he's coming, he has done a grievous thing and then he's having sex with you. Of course not. You understand what I mean? So, but I also know that some women, it's only when they feel
They
like
want it.
you cannot only have sex as a woman only when you feel like it, unless you are like that friend that feels like it every day. But if you are not like that, which most women are not like that, you cannot say that it is only when I feel like having sex that I have sex, because by doing so you are likely going to be denying your husband, because your husband is not created that way. He most likely wants more sex than at the pace of when you are happy. So that's what I'm saying, that sometimes when you are not happy, you will still do it. I'm not saying that when there's a grievous offense, you will always.
All right. So I think we are done, but I just want to say thank you both so much, because we need to wrap this up. We 1 hour 6 minutes now. Okay. So based on everything we've said today, I'm just going to ask you, Pimo, to give us your final thoughts about summarize everything that we've talked about today.
Okay, I think I'll just I always go for prevention than cure. So for those who are not married on this call, you are privileged and you are blessed. It's a good opportunity and a good time to choose right, to allow God in your choices, and not just ceremonially, but truly involve Him in all the intricacies that involves your life, as also regards marriage. And I really wish you well, because marriage is very important. It either makes you or mars you. Who you choose, who you marry, who you spend the rest of your life with. It's beyond all the ceremony we do on the wedding day. It's a whole lot. Like Pastor Tone said, it requires work, it requires commitment, and it's continuous work. And you have to be committed to making it work. There are a lot of good guys out there. There are a lot of good ladies out there. Please, let's not get it mixed up, thinking that everybody, that mindset, all men are liars, all men are cheats. It's a lie. There are so many faithful guys out there. There are so many faithful, virtuous women out there. Allow God lead you, and I trust that you would have a happy home in the future. Thank you, Stone, for having me.
Thank you so
Odun,
much.
sorry, Epi Pastor Stone also.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Though, I can't recall a time when I have been called pastor so consistently, so many times within 1 hour, as much as I've been called pastor today by Pastor Drew. Me too, I'm calling you pastor so that you stop calling me pastor. Since you don't like pastor too. Oh my God. Anyway, so my parting words, I mean, that would have been my line of speaking too, because prevention is better than cure. I have a passion, about, talking to young ladies to make the right decision, in marriage. But I'm not going to say that because that's what she's already said. But I just want to say that if you are already married and you are in trouble, please seek help. Honestly, I don't buy into this, we don't want third party. A lot of couples, they wait until it is too late before they eventually ask for help. And for some of them, it's just too late. And those who are saying that we don't want third party, the marriage will deteriorate and it will end up in a divorce, and then the whole world becomes third party. You are trying to avoid one couple, two people to know about your issues. Now the whole world knows, all your colleagues at work, all your people in church, they know now because the marriage couldn't work. But because I believe that many marriages that end up in divorce, not all. Some, there are some terrible cases that you just know that well. But there are so many marriages that would not need to end up that way if people ask for help on time. If you have tried so hard, this thing keeps recurring, it's now affecting you so much, you are getting depressed, you can't converse again, you can't have any meaningful conversation again with your spouse, then seek for help, because there must be conversation, there must be communication, and there's help. Sometimes it could just be a few words of wisdom that those mentors will give you that will solve your problem, or even professional counselors. Christian counselors, I would say, because you also have to be very careful who you go to. because there are all sorts of counsels out there.
Yeah.
There are also there's just too much out there. So you prayerfully select a Christian counselor, Christian pastor, mentor, professional Christian counselor that can talk to you. But seek help, please, if you need help. Stop keeping quiet. Stop keeping quiet. If you are feeling like, I don't want them to know my marriage is whatever, everybody will know at the end of the day if things get out of hand. You can't manage like that for life. Or God forbid, some people end up killing each other.
Yeah.
You don't want to end up that way. There's no need for that. There's help out there.
All right. Thank you both so much. I didn't have anything to say. They've said everything. They have just anchored the show. They've said everything, and I'm learning from them. I learned a lot today too. But one thing I would just mention there is the importance of conversation, communication, because both of them keep going back and forth. Communicate, talk. In fact, talk about the stupid things. It's sad. It's pathetic because in my own case, I used to be a very quiet person, but recently I'm beginning to understand the importance of communication in a relationship. Just talk, even about the stupid things. That's what I am learning. Like I said, I learned a lot from the both of them. Talk about even the stupid things, the things you think doesn't make sense. So while they were talking, I was telling myself, I will talk more. So anyway, God will help us, and we won't rule out prayers, because this is like a Christian show. And I always say prayer is important. The things that is good, that's what they say where I come from. The good things want prayer, the bad things want prayer. So pray, be prayerful. Pray about your sex life. That doesn't surprise you.
Oh yes, pray about everything.
Pray about everything. Yes. And with the help of the Holy Spirit, I hope and pray where we are cheering you on in your marriages, We'll all get there. Thank you both so much. I cannot express my gratitude enough, Pastor Tom. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you for
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Pastor Pimo. I'll be calling you Pastor Moni since she said I should be.
Nice to meet you, Pimo.
Same here, ma. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much, ma. Thank you so much.
And for everyone that tuned in, I am sorry I didn't have the time to acknowledge everybody today. And before we go, we'll just run and do our giveaway so that we can go. We have two winners. The first one is Uzo. I think Uzo was the first person that started the conversation. And then I can't scroll up. I think JMK. I don't know. I'll scroll up and then announce the winner after the show. This video will still be on Instagram. Some people are saying they need to rewatch it. So it's going to be there. So I'll mention the winners. But I know Uzo is the first person. He participated all through. Bema is not getting anything. Bema is my sister. She's giving herself her own giveaway. So who else? And I think JMK and one other person. Like I said, we'll announce the winner under the video, but we need to go because we are past our 1 hour deadline. So thank you all so much. Thank you, Arasho. I saw you joined in. Thank you, Adebola Atibola. Thank you. Thank you, Bemad, for always pulling people in. Thank you, Uzo. Thank you, Trust. Thank you, Shem. Thank you, everybody. GMK here. Thank you for joining today. Dollarize, everybody. Thank you, E. Thank you all so much. So we'll come your way next week. We have Susan Adekoka is coming next week to tell us her story. You all know Susan Adekoka. So we have my story edition coming next week. So until next week, when I come back, I'm still your friend, your sister, someone else's daughter, and I'm a woman like all of you. See you all next time. Okay, people, they said I should do giveaway for you. Or people should do giveaway for me. That's the man, Joe. She said I should give away. Okay, she said I should give her you. I should give to you to her. All right. Thank you all so much. We need to go. Thank you. Bye. See you next weekend. Bye.